Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a minute and a half since I've sat down and recorded a video. I thought the best way to come back to YouTube would to be a yearly recap because it's now November. I do have a new mic. We've upgraded from the phone. But hello, I'm back. I have really missed creating. Last night I actually watched one of my latest videos, which technically was a month or 2 months ago. And it was the economy is so bad, I might as well like pursue my dreams. It was like 100 sub special, and just watching myself have fun, record, and just yap for like 20 minutes was actually really fun, and I miss doing that, and I miss yapping to an audience as well. We are on like 130 something subs, which is really cool, and people were still subscribing even when I was away, so that's really nice. I can't even begin to tell you what's been going on in my life, which is why I had to go through my camera roll to remember what happened this year. But 2025 has been a good year, but we'll get into like a conclusion towards the end. I was just thinking, what better way to come back than to do a yearly recap? And this is my 2025 wrapped. Yeah, we're gonna start with January. Naturally, that is like the start of the year. So January, the way I've laid this out is I've done like my big wins for the month, and then I've done like one fumble for the month. Some of the months don't have fumbles. Like some of the months have actually been really good. But some of the months there've been some fumbles. So January, I saw Nosferatu at IMAX. That was really good. I met up with the girlies. I saw Alice and Amber, and I haven't seen them since. And she was crazy. We've actually just planned an outing because everyone's been so busy. We've just planned an outing. I created my vision board for 2025, and I actually just behind me, oh, that's the wrong side. Just behind me, I have my pictures ready to go to make my 2026 vision board. I met my friend Darcy for the first time, and I'm actually going to see her again next week. I'm being a big social butterfly again. I also saw this really lovely message on the Ritzy in Brixton. January had no fumbles. Little did I know. I gave January a 7 out of 10 because the year was looking hopeful. So February, I actually celebrated my first Valentine's Day. To be honest, it was actually really good. Can't complain. Big fumble for February. I started seeing some big cracks in my relationship. This will become important later. I gave February a 6 out of 10 because it was kind of a boring month, not gonna lie. March, I went to Amsterdam again with my sister. I went to Amsterdam for the first time with my sister, but for the second time in my life. We got matching tattoos, and then in the span of 12 hours, we also had like one of our biggest fights to date. I deleted TikTok for the first time. I would get it again later in the year. But then it was the first time I deleted TikTok in years. So I was a bit like, oh my gosh, I haven't not had TikTok since before it was Musically, actually. And then I took this really nice picture of the tree that welcomed into spring. No fumbles for March. I gave March a 7.5 out of 10. No complaints. April, I turned 19, and it's actually one of my favorite birthdays to date. I looked really pretty on my birthday as well, so it was a win. I left my job and people that I really liked and I really got on with, but then I also started a new job literally like 2 weeks later, so that was really exciting. I also, like, at my old job, I read this review that someone left about me, and I was like, "Aw," like they named me in the review. I was like, "Oh, that's really sweet, thank you so much," but like my managers never gave me a shout out. And then my friend Amber took these really cute duo pictures of Alice and I, which was just really funny. Fumble of the month, I had the biggest fight with my ex-boyfriend, which honestly, it just went downhill. It was a major tower moment in my life, I think. But I gave April a 9 out of 10 because it was still an amazing month. And also, men ruin everything, but he could not ruin my birthday. I won't allow it. Oh, May, I got a spontaneous tattoo, which is now one of my favorites. I saw Green Tea Peng in concert, and I fell in love with her music all over again. I tried pottery for the first time and then never again because it was in East London. I love East London, by the way. We'll get into this later, but I love East London. Oh, I temporarily adopted a cat, and then I lost the cat. I found the cat, and then I had to give him away. His name was Lulu, He's honestly the sweetest cat I've ever met, and I miss him every day. And then I also saw my aunt, who I hadn't seen in a long time, and we had a really big heart to heart. She's my mum's best friend. And we just spoke about life, and it was really lovely. Fumble. Oh, two fumbles for May. I had the worst fight with my dad, and I also became single. I gave May a 5 out of 10. Could have been worse. I could have died. Then we have June. I had the best steak and fries of my life with my friend Alice. So I literally think, like, you know when people say I think about something every day, I think about those steak and fries all the time. I went ginger and I miss it so much. I'm not brown because the ginger faded and it was kind of ugly. But I went brown and that was a great idea because I thought keeping up with the ginger would be really difficult because it's expensive and also really damaging to your hair. But I went ginger and I miss it all the time. Ugh. And then like right after I went brown, that's when my family's like, oh, like I miss the ginger. Oh my gosh, I found a resurfaced picture of my Dora cake that I had when I was 5. I think about this cake all the time. My uncle got me this cake, I think. And May must have been a month of remembering, I think. I went to a chess club going out thing with my friend, and that was really fun. I've not seen him since. I don't see my friends for months at times. And I also attended a Frank Ocean poetry night, which was really, really fun. I think this was a month where I was a social butterfly, but I also like did a lot of things by myself. I gave June an 8 out of 10. It was a good month. Okay, July. I went semi-viral on TikTok. That was a win because like I literally thought my algorithm was messed up. But I kind of went viral on TikTok and then I actually was like, do you know what? This is not the life for me. And I deleted my TikTok page. I saw SZA and Kendrick in concert. Oh my god. I met my friend Cody and then we spent 3 days in London just hanging out before he had to go to Barcelona. That was really fun. Okay, this is a win because I said it's a win. I saw my ex for the last time and I also questioned how like two very different people could be in a romantic relationship. It's not shady boots, it's all love. I wish him the best. But like seeing him for the last time, I was kind of like, wait, not why did we date? Because there's things from that relationship that I carry with me every single day. It's more so like, why did we date for so long and not realize that this was just not working out? I'm inspiring. But fumble, I let my ex re-enter my life. Silly me. I gave July a 7 out of 10. Thanks, Cody, for reviving my month. August, I went to New York. I went to New York City and New York took up 10 days of my August and that was really, oh my gosh, I miss the States so bad, you don't even understand. And then I also went to Scotland, like literally a few days after I came back for a work trip. And I also fell in love with Scotland. And I also got one of my favourite tattoos done by Sarah. I really want to get tattooed by her again. It's actually like on my like hip area and yeah, it's one of my favourite tattoos ever. And it was a really special moment. It's one of my worst tattoos because that area was so tickly and I was just like, ooh. The adrenaline wore off probably like 3/4 through and I was just wiggling like a worm trying to keep still. Fumble of August was that I couldn't do a national tour of America because I was so ready. I gave August an 8 out of 10 because I became a Brooklyn baddie for 10 days and I want to go back. Okay, September. These are the more recent months. Definitely started coming into myself a bit more. I saw Pink Panthers for a second time. Amazing. I love Pink Panthers so much. I got two new tattoos that mean a lot to me. I got my seashell tattoo on my shoulder, which is a very popular tattoo, but I love that, to be honest. And I also got a swan tattoo. The swan tattoo, I love the way that swans love. And I kind of got it in honor of like my last relationship because I remember being in that relationship and thinking, you know, I want to be so madly in love with someone and so devoted to someone. And I think the way that swans love is that they have like one partner for life. And this is not me hating on people who are like into more than one relationship, that's completely fine. But I was just like, when they meet the person that's for them, or when they meet the swan that's for them, they just have that person for life. And swans are also very vicious as well. Like, they're very elegant and beautiful, but they're very vicious. So I kind of like that about them, because they have this like dark side to them, and I think I resonate with that. Fumble of September, I became unemployed. I gave September a 6 out of 10 because, yeah, it was an okay month. Okay, October was a month that was busy. And so October was actually when I wanted to come back to YouTube, but then I was like, I actually have no time. I was in the middle of researching for 2 videos and kind of doing that. But I was also like, I barely have time to research, let alone sit down and record. So October was busy. I started seeing my mentor for my career. I think I've mentioned this before. I mentioned in my last video how I want to go into PR. So I started seeing a guy who's been in PR for like 13 years, I think. Sorry, Will, if that's wrong. He's been in PR for a long time. So we meet like every 2 weeks to talk about what the heck I'm doing and how I can get into PR. And yeah, it's been really good so far. I went on a really hard hike. I think about this hike all the time. I went on this really hard hike, and it was like a 6-hour hike. I had so much time to think. I didn't go alone. I went with my sister and her 2 best friends. I don't think I've thought that much in so long. I wasn't really on my phone like that, apart from like taking some cute pictures, but I just remember thinking for like 6 hours, and it was like really therapeutic. And like the hike was really tough in itself because, I mean, the steepness of it was horrendous. But it was so mentally challenging as well. And I did it. We did it because it was a group of us, but that was really good. I rejoined Instagram. Guys, please tell me why this is the highlight of my year. I've made some videos talking about social media. I think in my last video especially, I spoke about how like we need to make social media fun again. Like, people are taking social media too seriously. And I was just like, I left social media in a hurry. Like, I was just like, get me off this. And then back in October, I was like, wait, why don't I have social media? Why don't I have Instagram at least to keep up with my friends? But I reconnected with people that like I really missed, and I don't regret it. I only have Instagram. I went to Spitalfields in East London. I told you, like, I fell in love with East London. I don't think I've gone to East London more than I have this year. I started going to the cinema again, and I saw one battle after another. And guys, watch this channel become a like film channel where I talk about movies, because one thing about me is that I love the cinema and I love movies. So any opportunity I can get to go see something in a cinema rather than streaming it at home, I will take that. So I saw one battle after another, and not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting much. I had thought about it all the time since I've watched it, and I'm so tempted to go see it again in like Curzon, but watch this space, I might go see it again. I tried pole dancing for the first time. I have literally wanted to try pole dancing since the beginning of this year. I never did it because I didn't have time and I was really busy, and then I was like going through stuff, and I was like, last thing I want to be doing is like spinning on a pole. But then I was like, actually no, that's the first thing I want to be doing. So I tried pole dancing for the first time, and it was really fun. And the class was like 6, 7. There was like 6 of us in the class, and like the girl teaching it, she was like really lovely, and she was really sweet, and it's such like a positive space. There were some girls who had done pole dancing before, and I was like, oh, you got the skills already. I was struggling because I have no upper body strength. Wait, highlight of October, I watched Sex and the City. Guys, I watched Sex and the City, this show. I've not watched And Just Like That or any of the movies because I don't really care to watch that. But I watched Sex and the City for the first time, the whole show, and it's actually become one of my favorite shows ever. The conversations that they have in Sex and the City are timeless, because I'm just like, wait, people on TikTok talk about this stuff all the time. So if there's one thing I recommend you do, go and watch Sex and the City. So fumbles for October, none. It was my most reflective month yet. And I think because of that, that's why I had no fumbles. And I think I'm only 19, but my frontal lobe, whatever you guys be talking about, yeah, that was developing for sure. Okay, and now we're in November. So November, I saw Raven Lene in concert. Girl, I saw so many people in concert this year. I have no complaints. I saw Raven Lene in concert. She was brilliant. I love her. Her music is amazing. She sounds amazing live. And one thing about me is that when I go to a concert, I'm not saying you need to sound exactly like your studio self, but let's just say I want to see a performance, and she performed Zound. I love her. And I also went with a work friend that I met during my internship, and Alicia, I love you. I saw Lion King in theater. That was really fun. I watched Begonia for the first time. I watched Begonia at the cinema in Curzon. That was a mind trip. I watched Past Lives, and I wrote like a really long review about that on Letterboxd. And I also literally yesterday watched Wicked for Good, crying the whole time. I went to Gran Canaria with my sister and my mum and her friends to celebrate her 25th birthday. She's getting very old, and I'm scared for her, honestly. Going away to celebrate her was really lovely, and yeah, I love my sister. During that trip, I actually went on a boat for the first time, and I almost threw myself overboard because I have a fear of the ocean. I got some really exciting news to do with jobs, because I've obviously been applying for jobs, and there's some really exciting stuff coming for that. Fumbles for November, rethinking my career path again. I just love too many things. But I gave November a 9 out of 10 because even though it's not over just yet and we are in Mercury retrograde, I think November was a great month. And then December, just vibes. On average, the rating is like 7.5, and I think 7.5 for 2025 is pretty good. I had some really high moments this year. Girl, I had some low moments this year. And I really was like, you know what? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But I figured it out. I strangely don't even remember half the stuff that took place this year. That's why I had to go in my camera roll to kind of jog my memory. I feel like January 1st Naya is completely different to who I am now. So different. So different. I don't even know who that lady is. I think I've grown so much and I've matured, and I look back and I used to kind of cringe and kind of shame my old self, but like, she's still me. But I love life. Life's amazing. I'm super grateful and blessed for like the opportunities I had to experience this year as well. And I'm grateful for even the bad moments, dare I say, because I was able to figure out what I want in life, not necessarily like specifically with career, but what I want in life and where I want my happiness to lay and who can give that to me. Spoiler, I can give that to me. I'm really gonna be delusional next year and achieve everything that I said I would. That's me. Super, super busy time in my life right now, but like a good kind of busy, but I'm not stressed and I'm super happy. But I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all very, very soon.